Good evening. I was driving home tonight on my way for a typical Saturday night here in Northern California, and I thought, why not do a little video? So those of you around the world that are watching this, you're going to see what it's like to have a typical Saturday night in Northern California. So to get started, we got to make good dinner, and tonight I'm going to make a 5-grain pizza crust. I bought this machine here a few months ago called the Vitamix. It's a heavy-duty industrial machine, and it came with a great recipe book, a whole grain cookbook. So what we're making tonight is we're making a 5-grain pizza crust. And the 5 grains in the pizza crust include, we've got unbleached flour, and then we have wheat flour, rye flour, barley flour. There's some oats in there, and then there's also some salt and a couple other ingredients. I'm going to put the ingredients in the comments on this video, so if you want to make this yourself. So with that being said, I guess I better put on my little chef's hat here to give you the full effect, in case you're somebody out there watching this and maybe one day you'll be a guest here in my kitchen, and I want you to see what it's I want you to get the full effect here. So anyway, so as the recipe, what it said to do was to take some water, a cup of water, heat it up to 110 degrees, and then I added some yeast, and I added 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and I let that sit for 5 minutes, and you can see that's kind of active. And then I'm going to take these ingredients here, these 5 grains, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put those right on in here, just like that. Okay, so I got those all in there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this machine on, and I'm going to take it up to speed. It has 2 settings, variable and high, and then 1 to 10. So I start at variable. I'm going to turn it on and go up to variable speed 6, and I'm going to hold it there for about 5 seconds. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so now if you want to come in here, you'll see that, come on in. If you want to come in here, look in the center here of the mixing bowl, and you'll see there's a little hole in there. See the little hole? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this water with the yeast right on in there, just like that. Okay? So now that we've got that done, I'm going to put the top on, and to mix the dough, I'm going to turn the machine on high for 1 second, and I'm going to stop and I'm going to remove the lid. So we're just going to put it on high, and I'm just going to do that for 1 second here. Just like that. I'm going to remove the lid, and I'm just going to kind of bring this stuff around like that. And yes, Mom, I did wash my hands before I started cooking, okay? Yeah, my mom, she watches all my videos, and I should mention that I got my enjoyment or love of cooking from many a Saturday and Sunday afternoons in the kitchen with my mom. She was is a home economist, and as far as I'm concerned, the best cook in the world. So now what we're going to do is simulate the kneading of this with this machine, and we're just going to turn it on, turn it off, just like that. It's just kind of like kneading it. And I'll look inside, and I'll kind of work it a little bit, just like that. Turn it on. Okay, so now, let me do that just a little bit more. Okay, so there you go. So it kind of looks like that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out my little cutting board, and I'm going to just throw a little flour down. Just going to throw a little flour down on this, just a little bit. Then I'm going to take this and I'll bring it out. And what we want this to do is rise. So this is called a 5-grain pizza crust, And again, I will put the I'll put the ingredients on the comments of this video. It's not a lot of ingredients to put on there. It is quite a challenge to get all the dough out of this. But there you see it. So we got a little ball of dough. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bowl like this and I'm just going to cover it. And I'm just going to let that sit for 5 minutes. Okay? So while that's sitting for 5 minutes or so, I'm going to start the timer. I'm going to let that sit. And I'm going to get the next part of the dinner ready. And you can't have a nice Northern California dinner without a tasty green salad. So with the green salad, I've already cut up. This is usually the same salad I make all the time. And if you want to come over here, you'll see the different ingredients. A lot of people like my salads. I guess it's just a typical salad that you would make. But I have some cut up tomatoes. Just put in some tomatoes like this. So you got the tomatoes in there. And then I've got some peppers. Tonight it's yellow and orange peppers. So I'm going to put some peppers into the salad just like that. There you go. Who knows, maybe one day I'll have a cooking show, eh? So we put the that in. Now I've got some mushrooms, and it's a lot of mushrooms, but most of those mushrooms are going to go on the pizza here in a moment. So we get the salad all ready here. We have the mushrooms going on. Now I have some nice onions. Put some onions on there. Just like that. And then of course we've got to have the feta cheese. So you put a little feta cheese on that salad dress or salad. Just like that. Try to even it out. And the croutons. So there you go. You got some croutons. And voila. There's your salad. You know, I've noticed that a lot of people over in Europe that watch these videos or have come over here and had dinner, when they see me putting raw mushrooms in this, they wonder. They say, "Oh, you know, you guys eat raw mushrooms," and I love them, and I think a lot of Americans do as well. So, what we're going to do here is we're just going to let this sit for a minute. We're going to let the dough rise, and we'll be back in just a few minutes, and we'll get the pizza going. Oh, by the way, we are going to actually be barbecuing the pizza tonight. So we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Alright, so it's been 15 minutes and hopefully the dough has been rising. We'll go ahead and take this off. Oh, there it is. Okay. So the dough has risen. I'm going to take a little bit of flour and kind of put that on there a little bit. This dough doesn't have the same elasticity as you know, the other dough that you might buy, but I've made this several times and I really like it. So basically all I'm going to do here is, you don't even really need to roll it that much. You know, it's just very, very easy. Just like that. Okay. So actually it's rolling out really easy. I was thinking that we'd have to take a break and I'd have to roll this out, but that's not the case. So anyway, so I'm rolling this out the size of a pizza pie, like that. I should probably be singing "Oh Solo Mio," but I won't torture you with that. Anyway, so now this is a special pizza pan right for the barbecue. You can see it's got the holes in it. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to find a way to get this pizza dough right up onto the pan, like that. Just get that going. That doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not really having a special guest for dinner tonight. If I were having a special guest, then, then I'd probably be a little bit more careful, you know. And I don't know why my cameraman's putting that finger up at me like he is, but anyway. All right, so now we've got now we got the sauce going here, and I haven't been ambitious yet enough to make my own sauce. I will though. YouTube only lets me upload so many minutes of video. So there's the sauce, and I'm going to do a little trick that my mom taught me, and that's take a spoon and the back of a spoon and just kind of spread it out with the back of a spoon. Kind of works very well. So I'm going to get this sauce all evenly spread up around there. Just like that. Okay. There you go. So now we got our sauce on there. And you're probably wondering, why doesn't he just call Domino's, But there's something to be said about making your own pizza. I like it. Okay. So now, I actually have two types of cheese here. This is a dairy-free cheese, and this is like a soy cheese. So I'm going to put this on my half of the pizza, just like that. It's a cheese substitute. I'm not sure what they actually make it with. It's in most of your health food stores, but I like it. It's not too bad. I'm going to put that on there. And this is the cameraman's half of the pizza, right here. So we're going to put on his mozzarella. Put that on there, just like that. Okay, so we got the cheese going on. How's that look, Mr. Cameraman? Okay. Alright, so now let's get the ingredients. And tonight I've got pepperoni going on there. This is actually turkey pepperoni. It's sold at a store here as opposed to using the regular pepperoni. I'm a little bit of a health nut. I like to look at what I'm putting into my body, so to speak. So this is turkey pepperoni. I'm going to get that on there, just like that. So we got the pepperoni going. And next we're going to put the mushrooms on, just kind of like that. Spread them out. Okay. And we're almost done. And then the next, we're going to put on the bell pepper, the green bell pepper. In Budapest they call this California paprika. Alright, they actually don't have green, I don't think they have green peppers over there. They're not very common. Alright, so the last step is to put this thing on the grill. We'll be back in a minute, and I'll show you the grill, and then we'll have our dinner, okay? Okay, so here we are. We're going to throw this on the barbecue, and those of you that know me, or those of you that don't know me, wonder why I probably have the barbecue out here in the street, not on my patio. Those of you that do know me know that last year about this time, my house caught on fire because of the barbecue. So I play it safe now, and I barbecue here out on the street. So I've got the barbecue cranked up. It's up to about 500 degrees. I'll open up the hood here just a little bit, let some of the heat out. I'm going to just throw that right on there. So that's going to cook for about 15 minutes, and then we'll be back out, and we'll have dinner. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes now, and the pizza's been cooking. You can see there it is. And I will just lift up, and I kind of peek underneath there, and I check the bottom, and it's not burnt. It looks good. So we're going to take this on inside and cut it up and have a nice dinner. pizza pie out. I'm just gonna cut it up. You can hear that crust. And there we go. We've got our homemade pizza. Put some of this here on the plates, and then we'll go out and have a nice dinner out on the terrace. Alright, so dinner is served, and what dinner wouldn't be complete with having a wonderful guest over? This is Mr. Fawcett. How you doing, Mr. Fawcett?
Doing well.
How many dinners have I cooked for you over the years?
Billions.
I don't think you've ever really had a bad dinner over here, have you?
Can't say that I have, no.
Alright, so let's, now pizza is one of your favorites.
Right? Say the least.
Alright, well without further ado, let's sit down and have some dinner, then we'll make some dessert and do the final thing before we call it a night.
Sounds good.
Alright, so what Northern California would not be complete without a visit to the jacuzzi, or as some might call it, the hot tub. So it's been a good evening, and if you're ever in Northern California, I hope you can have just as nice of an evening as I've just shared with you. And with that being said, I'm going to soak for a little bit and then call it a night. So thanks for joining me for a Saturday night in Northern California.